give you a round of applause first?
Oh.
So much fun in the room.
Yeah, thank you, fellow peers, Professor. All right. Now I would like to invite my fellow peers to help me out with the tool. If I can show you guys, demonstrate. So, if everybody could just put their hand in front of their face. Now, can you see the wrinkles and the crevices in your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, look at that. Like, that's what you call hard focus. Now, I want you guys to look past that. To look, like, at the horizon. And I want you guys to see everything in the room, but not looking directly at anything. Now, in theater and actors gang, that's what they teach. That's called a soft focus. That'd be your eyes on the horizon, which would be good for doing something like an ensemble, because if you're walking, like, you got your eyes on the horizon, you're not going to hit nobody. And I use that tool today, like I used at the Orange County Fair when there's so many people. I was able to just, like, walk by without, like, getting thrown off. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about the actors gang. A little background on it, it started over 25 years ago. And what they use is, it's like a style, it's called Commedia dell'arte, which comes from 1800s, and it's like from England, like UK. And then the way it started was Tim Robbins from Shawshank Redemption. That's what he's an actress, best known from that. Well, when he was in UCLA college, him and his classmates from the theater class, they were like, hey, we should do this after school. So they were like, yeah, we need a building. And Tim, he was blessed with enough like movies at that time. So he ended up buying this theater in Culver City. And it was called the Actors Gang Theater. And yeah, they used to perform. It started in 1981. And then in 2006, a lady from London came, Sabra Williams, who was an actress and activist. And she worked with inmates in the past. And she had an idea, let's take it to California prisons. And they started a pilot program, which was called Actors Gang Prison Project. And what happened was something amazing. Guys were able to deal with their emotions. And yeah, okay, let's go ahead. So in California, 6 out of 10 inmates will return to prison within 3 years. There was some statistics. Now the Actors Gang endeavor is to unlock human potential to the interest of effect rehabilitation. But a California state audit is saying that the program's not working for the most part. And then Sabra Williams, an activist, and actress Jane Fonda beg to differ. So I'm credible because, as you can see, I'm a former inmate. I'm what they're talking about. And I did the program while I was inside, and now I go back and teach it. So I'm like the end result that they're talking about. And then my thesis today is just pretty much telling you guys about Actors Gang Theater and its worth in the communities. So yeah, that's some of the statistics. Okay, so now I'm going to be giving you the history, how it started, and the oppositions they face and their future plans. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, it all started with Tim Robbins. And like students like us, imagine we had like a speech class, like we're like, hey, let's do speech after, and we all became like, we started something amazing, like a movement. And then here's that wonderful lady, Sabra Williams, who came in 2006 and had the idea to take it to prisons. And this was the first class they did in CRC prison, where it was amazing. Because imagine, okay, how many of you guys ever like put a fake face up? Like you were really sad, but you had to act happy? Okay, well in prison that's how it is every day, because you got to put a mask up. You can't show fear, you can't show sadness. You got to always show like anger, and so that's what this really helps with, because the guys are able to, help them come out of their things. But I'm going to get more into that, I just don't want to overdo it. Alright, so main point, Actors Gang expanded to 12 prisons. Now it's in 12, and it's also in reentries, it's also in juvenile detention centers and schools. So they teach it to schools, and they still do their theater. And then the audit is causing oppositions. Okay, so as I mentioned about the emotions, yeah, it's hard to show any other emotion in prison. You can't, because it's taken as a weakness. So what the Actors Gang does, it has like 25 students. They come in, they provide a safe space. Like there's no right or wrong answer. And everybody makes like agreements on the class, like what's to make them feel safe, what's to make them be able to partake in the program. Then it becomes like a bond, like a family thing, and they also teach tools. These tools help, like, in society. Like, we learn about 4 emotions: happy, sad, afraid, and angry. That's like the 4 squared. And during this time, we put on also masks, because with the mask on, you're able to use it as a buffer. A buffer so you could share that emotion of sadness. You could share that emotion of fear, but you're using a mask to buffer it out. So at the end of the class, you could take it off and all that could go away. And what it pretty much does is helps inmates deal with emotions. And it teaches so many other tools that I wish I could teach you guys, because it's like, yeah. So yeah, there was me when I was in the reentry with my some classmates. Okay, as I mentioned, bam. Now, actor Tim Robbins, he said on CGN America Full Frame 3 years ago that most crimes are dealt by people not being able to control their emotions, like anger, which is predominant emotion in prison. Actor Gang helps them deal with these emotions with the tools I mentioned earlier. Now, the new audit by Elaine Howe, who was a California State Auditor, wrote January 2019 that there is not a real change in recidivism. Recidivism is like people coming back to prison. So like I get out and I go back, get out. Within the last 5 years. And then CBT funding. So CBT is cognitive behavioral treatment funding. So that's like what they consider actors gang. It's like a self-help. Should be cut, and CBT programming will be, they're going to examine it more for the most part, try to cut programs. And then she also said that they need more research though, because it's hard to tell who took what class. So they've got to still work on that. But now, activists, wonderful Sarah Williams and Jane Fonda, they said on the Washington Post, like April 8, 2019, they said a state audit this year might jeopardize the future of crucial offerings, just as state budget crisis did in 2010.
Damn,
It would be a
that's
grave
time.
mistake. It's time?